Welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we took apart this engine on the S185 Bobcat to find out why it was burning coolant faster than I could pour it into the engine. Now we're able to determine at that time that I got lucky and it was just a cylinder head. In the tail end of that video, I did cover the oil change on this S185 Bobcat, and the same process would follow for pretty much all of the other machines that also use a Kubota engine. So in this video, I'm going to detail that process a little bit more thoroughly so you know how you can change your oil in your Bobcat or any other piece of equipment you might have that would have a similar Kubota engine in it. For anyone who is not familiar with the backside of a Bobcat, once you have the rear door open, there's a few things to take note of. Your air filter is located right up here. The bottom filter right here is your diesel fuel filter. Right beside that is your oil filter, and that's what we're going to be focused on today. And up here on the top right, that is the hydraulic filter. With the way this engine is installed, the engine's basically sitting right on top of the fuel tank, and so you can't access the drain plug from underneath as you would typically for any other vehicle. The Bobcats, they have something a little bit unique, and that is this hose that connects to the oil pan of the engine and allows you to drain the oil remotely here. Because this is coming through a tube from the underside of the engine, it is probably even more critical than normal to make sure that you have the engine up to temp and you've got hot oil so that it flows easily through this tube and into your drain pan. Now with all the oil drained out of the oil pan and out of the engine, we can now move on to replacing the oil filter. Now, one thing that will make this substantially easier, especially on the cleanup side of things, is if you can get one of these sort of flexible funnels. So this is a sheet of metal or tin or something like that coated in plastic, and with this you can sort of form a funnel and stick it underneath where the oil filter is, because there will still be a lot of oil stuck in the oil filter, and so as you remove it, it's going to drip. With this flexible filter, you'll be able to drain all that oil into a pan. With the way that the oil filter is mounted, if you don't have a funnel or something like this, you're going to drip all the way down the engine block and make a pretty good mess here. With the oil filter off, it's now time to install a new one. Just make sure that you lubricate the O-ring on the filter before installation and screw it on hand tight. One piece that's fairly common practice when it comes to heavy equipment that you won't see in your typical automotive type oil changes and filter changes is the fact that it's good practice to write down the hours that are on the unit as well as the date that it was changed, and will give you a good indication of when that next one is due when you're doing your pre-checks and walkarounds. For all of the Bobcats, the oil change and fuel filter changes are every 250 hours. With the oil now drained and the new filter installed, the only thing left is to fill the engine with oil. If you have a Bobcat S165 or S175 that doesn't have the turbo, the oil filling point will be right here beside the high pressure fuel pump. However, on the Bobcat S185, you have to fill it through the valve cover, which is a little bit more of a pain. To facilitate filling the engine with oil, I would highly recommend a funnel and a hose similar to this. Using this will easily allow you to access the top of the valve cover where the access point is to fill the engine with oil. As far as oil types, I will put that in the description of the video for the breakdown of all the different types of oil that can be used in the Kubota engine. Now it does vary depending on operating temp. For myself in a more northern climate, the advantages of a synthetic are quite significant in being able to run it both in the summer and the winter months. And so that was what I chose to go with on this oil change here. Now I've got one thing left to do on this Bobcat before it is ready to be put to work, and that is to fix a fuel leak that I've got on the second injector. So stay tuned to the next video where I cover the troubleshooting process of that and hopefully correcting that fuel leak. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below and I will try my best to get back to you.